that's fascinating to me. So if we look closely at the details of Tezos, it hasn't seen much until 2 or 3 days ago. Take a look. This is the 200-day moving average. Now, it was below the 200-day moving average for while a lot of the other projects were still there. So why is that? There just hasn't been a lot of buying. But on the flip side of things, there's not a lot of dumping with Tezos because a lot of people do actually stake their Tezos. One of the original projects, actually Tezos is one of the original staking projects. If we look at the history of Tezos, I feel like it is one of the older projects. For sure, it's been around for a while, at least since 2019 or 18, because that's when it really started. The rivalry between Cardano and Tezos happened. But they have staking, they have good staking with decent yields. And one of the reasons why there's not so much downside to Tezos is because, yeah, it's on the proof of stake consensus mechanism and it highly encourages people to stake their Tezos. So yeah, it looks like it was back in 2017 when this was created. So it is definitely a tested and tried and tested, as they say, blockchain solution, layer 1 blockchain solution. So it's a great coin. I have some. I just picked up some at $5. I'm happy to do that. I think it's still way undervalued. And what we're going to look at today is actually we're going to kind of go full DEGEN, to be honest, because a lot of the projects on Tezos is pretty relatively small and it's relatively newer in terms of the DeFi space. So a lot of the projects are brand new. Was in the ICO. Oh, good for you, man. Yeah, lucky. I wish I was. I mean, to be honest, if I'd been in the ICO and staking this stuff for, the last, 4 years, I'd have a huge amount of Tezos. But for now, let's take a look at what's going on. So when I open this page, this is a pretty cool website, Tez Tools. This it just gives a little recap of what's going on in the ecosystem. This is how I learned about a lot of the projects that are going on in the Tezos ecosystem. So we look at these, and the top ones, the LP, TVL, this is total value locked. And LPs are mostly for farming. This is how you pretty much stake or delegate your coins on these individual projects. And Plenty DAO is the top. Plenty DAO is pretty big. This is going to be their DEX. So let's take a look at Plenty DAO. Thus far, a decentralized exchange with yield instruments have been developed on Tezos, with plenty more to come. So this is pretty much the premier or the go-to yield farm decentralized exchange. But there's also something called Quipu Swap, which I have been using to try to find out what the prices of these guys are. So there's a lot of coins that are in the Tezos ecosystem, as we will go over today. Plenty, again, yeah, this is a good coin to have. I have several thousand Tezos that I'm going to start swapping out for these, because anytime there's a run like this, these coins tend to lag. So just swap out a few of them, a few hundred maybe Tezos for some of these smaller coins, because these are going to see major gains. The more that we see pumping action going on with Tezos, and let's take a look what's going on with Tezos right now. So yeah, there's a little bit of a downwards trend here, but that's okay. It's pretty much correcting just from the top of this wick. But again, we're still so close to the 200-day SMA. I can see this easily correcting back up to this level. Breaking past 574 is going to be tough, but if we do, the next step is going to be 650 and on and on and on, which is exciting. So let's go back to Quipu Swap. Okay, this little tiki guy, man, he's going to show us the way, because right now we can find out what the prices of all these coins are. You can get 2.5 Plenty DAO tokens for 1 Tezos. So Plenty is something to look at, it's something to keep in mind. It is a decentralized exchange with yield instruments. If we take a look at their website, I have it open right here. Yeah, they have some pretty sweet yield farms here. I mean, these are crazy, 927 APY, 30,000 APY, super high risk. So be careful. Be careful about all this stuff. This ain't financial advice at all. This is just me explaining what's going on with the Tezos ecosystem, introducing you guys to projects that you might not know about. So yeah, for sure do your own research before you invest in this kind of stuff. But again, we keep an eye on this. This is why things like Tezos are popping off, and this is why protocols like Plenty are going to be popping off, because for sure we can see insane gains to be had. I mean, it's high risk, sure, but we see total value locked is pretty high on Plenty. Let's take a look at their main page here. Total value locked, $44 million. Okay, this is not people's play money. This is not funny money. This is $44 million. This is a decent amount. That's a very respectable amount of money to have. So as far as risk, is concerned, I would put plenty at pretty much the least risky that I'm going to talk about, the least risky asset. Okay, so next up we have Crunchy. I very much like Crunchy. It calls itself Tezos DeFi as a service. So good. And the farms look awesome. It has a very clear roadmap of where it wants to be, a very clear roadmap of what it wants to do, which I like. I mean, I think this kind of setup, and you can check this out at crunchy.network is their website, and it has all the details for the roadmap. So check it out. This roadmap is awesome. I mean, they have the full details of what they're going to do. Q3, that's what we're in right now. We're going to look for deep freezers, open for all, slow cookers, open for all. I think these are just more yield farms because if we look at their main website, yeah, they have a ton of yield farms. Now, the cool thing about Tezos as well is you can kind of get paid in all kinds of different currencies. So you can have CRDAO, which is their governance token for Crunchy. You can get paid in KUSD, which is the stable coin. That's like a tether for the Tezos ecosystem. It's pegged to the dollar, the US dollar. Kalam is a NFT platform. So I'm going to talk about most of these, but the cool thing about, like I was saying, Tezos generally speaking, and Crunchy specifically speaking, is that when you yield farm and you stake your Tezos here, you can get paid in a multitude of coins, and the yields are pretty good. Looks pretty safe. It looks pretty legit. Crunchy is a solid project. The roadmap looks nice. I'm happy that they cross off the things that are already done. I'm happy that they're working on the things that are still to be announced. And it's just clean and clear. And that means a lot for this space, I think. So Crunchy's one to look at. And the price of Crunchy right now, how many Tezos, let's see, for a Crunchy? It's called Crunch Token. And you get 84 crunches for one Tezos. So yeah, definitely going to pick up a few of these. Moving on, Caliment. Okay, Caliment is the NFT marketplace for Tezos. I have a little website open here. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, look, with any layer 1 project, we're going to see NFTs because NFTs, for the most part, are something that you can put your, let's say Tezos or whatever, put the coin that the market is based on, put it into, and you kind of lock it up. In a way, this is kind of locked up forever. It's a great way to lock up your asset, your underlying asset. We'll call it the underlying asset. So the Tezos coin is the underlying asset for the Tezos blockchain. And NFTs are beautiful because they really do have a store of value function. And you lock your Tezos in and it's not going away. And it takes that Tezos out of the market. And it just increases the price overall of the project. So I love NFTs. I think NFTs are a great idea. I think truly the only way for a store of value to happen is through an NFT. And the other cool thing is, you can earn yield on stuff and you can buy NFTs through your yield. It keeps the prices really, really good because you're not selling your tokens, you're actually using your tokens for something. It's like basic economics 101. Instead of people saving their money, they buy stuff. You want them to buy stuff to have a healthy economy. You want people to buy stuff with the money, like the US dollars, for example. That's why if you buy stuff with Tezos, like NFTs, well, that's good for the ecosystem. That's good for the economy of Tezos. So, any NFT projects I can get behind, I can support for sure. Let's take a look at how many Tezos, how many of these Caliments you can get for one Tezos. Hopefully you can swap it on QuipuSwap. Yeah, it's called Kalam. Caliment, Kalam. Oh wow, not even, okay, yeah, 5.9. So you get 5.9 Kalam right now for one Tezos. Now, the crazy thing is, I don't know any other way to get the value of this. So if you guys know how I can find coins like, or tokens like Kalam, it's not even on CoinGecko, it's not on CoinMarketCap. The only way I was able to find the value of these guys is through QuipuSwap. So if anybody knows how to get like a chart or a market cap or somewhere where we can see the value of these, post it down in the comments below, please. That's going to help out a lot, and it's going to help out people that are watching this video too, so that would be awesome. Thank you. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is Flame DeFi. So Flame DeFi is another yield farming that also has gaming aspect, which is really cool. So Space Farm is powered by Tezos, and it's also powered by Flame. So it's basically high yield farms. It has a burn function. You can have Flame Dex, which has its own swaps and liquidity pool via Space Farm. They kind of all need to have a little dex of their own so that you can swap out the coins that you get for farming. So this is pretty cool. And if we look at the Space Farm, they do have games. I mean, it's like straight up gambling. It's like blackjack and poker and slot machines and stuff like that. So it is like a straight up gambling platform, which is kind of cool. But I wouldn't recommend messing around with this stuff just yet. But definitely keep an eye on the project. Like, take a look at it, keep an eye on it, because we know that gaming is huge. And we know if they connect this with NFTs, which I think they might have already started connecting it with NFTs in a way, it's going to be valuable. So there's going to be value with this. The TVL is massive. There's 115,000 Tezos locked up in the Flame ecosystem. So Flame is something to keep an eye on as well. And I want to see if I can get Flame here. Let's take a look. Oh, it doesn't show up for some reason. So yeah, where to get Flame? I don't know. If you can't get it on QuipuSwap, maybe you can get it on... Oh, maybe you can get it on Plenty. Let's see. Let's see if I can swap for Flame on... No, this is just wrapped for Plenty. Huh. Okay, again, if anybody knows about where we can buy Flame, let me know down in the comments below. But meantime, I bet you can find it on the website here, right? Anyway, I'll check into that and I'll let you guys know. The other one is Wrap Protocol. So Wrap Protocol is a decentralized bridge to transfer ERC20 and ERC721, which is the NFTs, tokens between Ethereum and Tezos. This is huge. And this kind of functionality is what we're seeing with a lot of layer 1 solutions, where they're having bridges between Ethereum and whatever the other layer 1 solution is, like for example Tezos. We're seeing a lot of that, and that's really important, and I think that these projects will for sure be valuable in the future. Something to keep a close eye on. If we look at Wrap, I know you can get Wrap here for sure. I did see it earlier here. Maybe not. That's weird. Let me refresh this page. QuipuSwap is like kind of a little bit buggy. Sometimes it doesn't show the right stuff. So, oh, there it is. Nice. There it is. Wrap governance token. Okay. So one Tezos will get you 22 Wrap right now. Yeah, I mean, why not? You know what I mean? Why not pick it up? Because this is something that we're going to see adoption for. We're going to see it as necessary, because a lot of the times developers, they don't want to have to develop a new, like from scratch to go to another layer 1 solution like Tezos. So maybe they already have something built on Ethereum, and it's just so easy with a protocol like Wrap Protocol to just move their project over to Tezos, or duplicate their project on Tezos to see, because nobody knows what's going to pop off next. So I think most developers would love to get involved in Wrap Protocol, and as a result, something to keep an eye on. So there's a couple others. This one I couldn't find too much information about, but something to keep on your radar is Qriktez, a non-fungible token-based fantasy sports game built on Tezos. Honestly, that's just something to keep in mind. We don't know where to get it or how to get it, but something to take a look at and keep in mind. There's another project called Luge, L-U-G-H, which is going to be a stable coin. It's going to be a stable coin that is pegged to the euro instead of the US dollar. So that's another project to keep an eye on. Not available now. I don't think you can buy it. I think it had an ICO that closed recently, but still nothing available. So these are all super early stages. I mean, this is like really, really, really ground level stuff here. So Calibri is a good project. This is also a stablecoin. That is, I believe, the KUSD. Yeah, this is the one that's pegged to the US dollar. So there's Calibri, which you can buy. Actually, I don't know why you'd want to. It's just a stablecoin. But the cool thing is you can get paid in Calibri. So if you're staking or if you're farming, if you're yield farming here, you can probably get paid in KUSD. Boom, just like that. So that's the good news about this. The last project I want to talk about is Smartlink. So Smartlink had an ICO, ended 4 months ago. This project is decentralized escrow for Web3, so the world's first sustainable marketplace for crypto users. DeFi ecosystems on Tezos. The ticker is SMAK, S-M-A-K. So it looks like on May 10th they raised $3 million to build their escrow payment ecosystem on Tezos. So escrow is really important for this community. Escrow is how it's the trust layer. If I have something and you have something and we want to trade, we can use an escrow service to guarantee trust that everything goes smoothly, that the transaction goes smoothly. So for example, if you have an NFT and you want to trade it for a real life item, well, guess what? You're going to use an escrow service to do that because, who knows, right? It's not until both parties agree that the goods are delivered and that the funds are transferred or whatever, the NFT is transferred. That's just an example. I don't know if that's ever happened. But that's an example. So yeah, I think this is a really cool project. I think Smartlink is something to keep an eye on. And I want to see if we have Smartlink here. I'd like to know how much it is. Yeah, we do. Cool. SMAK. Oh, wow. Is that right? This might not be right. I don't think that's possible. So let's refresh. Yeah, like I said, sometimes for QuickBooSwap, if you do too many functions without actually making a transaction happen, it just kind of gets wonky. But it's still in the beta stages. This is still new stuff. So it's ground up for sure. SMAK, here we go. How much SMAK for 1 Tezos? Hopefully it tells us. 115, nice. Okay. So yeah, definitely going to be picking up all the stuff I talked about. Temple Wallet, by the way, if you want to buy any of this stuff and use QuickBooSwap, you have to get Temple Wallet. So Temple Wallet is actually made by a company called Madfish Solutions. They're solid. They've been with Tezos from day one. And they actually built QuickBooSwap, and Temple Wallet is the best wallet. I think I would recommend to use. It's user-friendly, and you can store every token that's on Tezos, you can store on the Temple Wallet. So yeah, so Tiki Guy, Temple Wallet, it's easy to remember. So that's what I recommend. You get a Temple Wallet, you buy some Tezos on whatever exchange, you move your Tezos into your Temple Wallet, and then you swap your Tezos for these beautiful degenerate coins. And let's take a look at the chat here. Thoughts on ETH? ETH is beautiful, but ETH is slow. ETH has scaling issues and high gas fees, but it's still beautiful, and there's so much going on ETH right now. The crazy thing about ETH is a lot of developers and a lot of even users are kind of running away from it a little bit. It just has so many issues. But if we look at the price of ETH, okay, we're still in this wedge. This is a bearish wedge actually. When this trend line doesn't get met and this trend line gets let's say broken, that means probably the price is not going to go that high up. But again, anything can happen in this world. But I would expect, if you want a good entry on ETH, I would look at maybe the $2,600 level. That's where I would put mine in if I were to buy ETH again. I do buy ETH. I buy ETH all the time, but just to participate in the, all the stuff that it has to offer. Yeah, I would buy between 25.73 and 26.55. That's where I would purchase ETH if I were to do so. So do with that knowledge what you will. ETH, let's just say, since they introduced EIP 1559, which I have a video about, by the way, the currency has become less inflationary. And as a result, we should see more pressure on the upward side. ETH like running underwater. Yeah, Topher, it's absolutely right. I mean, not just from the user standpoint, but from the developer standpoint as well. I mean, developers love the EVM. The Ethereum virtual machine is awesome, and everybody's used to that. And when you talk about a smart contract, there's no better solution. The other thing is, and this is something I really wanted to talk about. I'm glad you brought up ETH because I want to talk about NFTs. And NFTs on ETH, I think, are brilliant. And the reason why, I don't want NFTs to be cheap. I don't want them to be fast. I don't even want it to be easy to get an NFT. And why? Because NFTs are value, okay? And the cheaper we make it to mint NFTs, the cheaper, it just cheapens what an NFT is. I'm glad that gas fees are high on Ethereum for NFTs. I hope that they have some way to split gas fees out from people who want to just swap coins or move ETH versus people who want to mint NFTs. I wish that would happen, and I wish that the gas prices to mint NFTs would remain high forever, because I think that NFTs found a good home with Ethereum, okay? That is because it is expensive, and I wish that it remains expensive because expensive adds value. Expensive means that people know that this has value because it's super expensive to mint it. You know, what's going to happen when ETH 2.0 comes out and you can mint an NFT on Ethereum network for like $1? You know, we're going to get a surge of NFTs, and there's going to be nothing discerning the newly minted NFTs on Ethereum network from the originally minted NFTs. And it's just going to devalue all of those NFTs that people spent hundreds of dollars to mint, that people spent hundreds of dollars to move or transfer. You know, think about how much it costs to transfer ETH into a wallet and then to buy the NFT and then swap out the wrapped tokens. I mean, it's ridiculous. But again, I'm happy it's ridiculous because that just adds value. So with something that's difficult and something that's expensive, the end product, which is the NFT, is pretty awesome. I mean, it holds value, and it's clear that it is valuable. In the same way that I want Bitcoin to remain proof of work, because it has to show that it's valuable. It has to show that work has been put into it, that cost has been made in order to mint or to create the Bitcoin. That there's tons of cost and electricity that is used to do that, and it should be that way. And Bitcoin should be slow because, you know, we're talking about something that's really a store of value now, something that's wealth. So anything that's a store of value, I want to be slow and expensive. As weird as it sounds, I know. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. I always tease that I'm going to be talking about Harmony 1. I know, and I will. That's another amazing Layer 1 solution. The remaining Layer 1s I want to talk about are Cardano. I want to talk about Polkadot. I want to talk about Harmony. Because, guys, keep an eye on those. They are going to be the spotlight for institutional investment, and big money is going to come into these, and they're going to run up like you wouldn't believe. So keep an eye on that. You know, if you want to go full DEGEN with me, you know, hey, let's do it, man. Let's have fun together, and let's buy crunchy coins. Anyway, so yeah, I hope this overview of these awesome up-and-coming projects proves to be informational for everyone. I will personally be keeping a very close eye on the projects. And then next stream, yeah, let's talk about another Layer 1 solution. So until next time, keep your portfolio strong and your hands stronger.